us up here. Once again, this is now I think that was in 2005, we first passed a resolution calling for a moratorium on executions in Texas. 2007, you passed one for calling on abolition of the death penalty in Texas. And 2009, you passed another one calling for a moratorium on executions again in Texas. And so, since then, Texas, the legislature has obviously not taken any action, neither has the Austin City Council. So that's why we're here again to ask and say, why should the Austin City Council take action on the death penalty issue, take a position on the death penalty issue? As my colleague Boomin from Witness to Innocence already told you about, it costs local taxpayers money when mistakes happen in the criminal justice system. $14 million had to come out of the pockets of local Austin taxpayers back in 2003 when we had to settle a wrongful conviction lawsuit in the Christopher Short Richard Danziger case. But this isn't, the death penalty and the problems of the death penalty are not something that are isolated from Austin. Austin suffers just like Harris County and Dallas County from the problem of wrongful convictions and sending people to death row who are innocent and who should not be there. As we've already heard in the case of Robert Springsteen, he was number 138, the 137th person exonerated, and he's listed on the Death Penalty Information Center as number 137 from across the country who was sent to death row, wrongfully convicted, and he was convicted right here in Travis County. And Anthony Graves was not convicted here in Travis County, but he now lives in Travis County. He moved here recently. And so this is a problem that affects us as Austinites. And what I want to appeal to is the people of Austin who you represent here, and the people at home watching maybe on Channel 6, to tell your city council that we are really the conscience of Texas. Austin is a very special community. And it's up to us to take a stand when the rest of the state is maybe not quite ready to stand up and say, we've made too many mistakes, it's time for us to start fixing the problem. That's why we're coming back to you with your invitation. I know you're really on our side again, so I'm really talking to the Austin City Council and the people of Austin to take that stand, to stand with us, stand with the people around Texas who are working to free wrongfully convicted people. We've worked on the Anthony Graves case, worked on the 12 other people who were sent to death row in Texas for things they did not commit. Unfortunately, there's a tendency amongst elected officials, people who are in charge of the prison system, to kind of put their heads in the sand and say, well, this problem with the death penalty was an isolated case. Anthony Graves was an isolated case. It can't happen again. But it happens over and over. Now, other parts of the country are stepping up and saying, it's gone too far, there are too many problems, we can't fix it. Here in Texas, we haven't even acknowledged on a state level that there is a problem. So Texas Moratorium Network, while not taking the moral position on the death penalty, whether it should exist or not, we know that there are problems that need to be addressed that are not being addressed. You saw it when Rick Perry replaced the chair of the Texas Forensic Science Commission shortly before they were about to take up a report about a possibly wrongfully convicted person in the Todd Willingham case. But the Texas legislature has not yet taken a stand or said that the problems are big enough for us to create a commission to study it. So part of our resolution to you, to the city council, is to tell the legislature, let's stop executions for 2 years and see if there are problems in the system that can be addressed and can be fixed. Now, Illinois created a moratorium in 2000, 11 years ago. Today, on the desk of the governor of Illinois is a bill awaiting his signature that would abolish the death penalty in Illinois after 11 years of no executions because of a moratorium. Last week, we had a Texas for Illinois Day, where we asked people of Texas to call the governor of Illinois and express their support for him to sign that bill. And hundreds of Texans responding to that. And so that's possibly the arc that could happen here in Texas, that we address the issues. Maybe what we find is that what they found in Illinois, the problems are insurmountable. Maybe that's one reason why Texas doesn't want to address the issues, because they're afraid of what they might find. So I just want to urge you, I have actually revised the resolution that was last passed in 2009, and I would ask you to consider repassing it. Can't too quickly for you to look at it today, probably, but look at it and come back in a meeting or so down the road and repass it, a resolution. This one adds a little something different from last time, besides updating the numbers of people executed. But the death penalty is really a local issue. Who gets the death penalty depends a lot on which person the death penalty is sought against. And at the local level, we elect our district attorneys, and we have a very close relationship, supposedly, with our local elected officials, the district attorney. And you, the Human Rights Commission, it's right there in your name, human rights. And if this is a human rights issue, if you can talk to the district attorney of Travis County, and I put it in this resolution, the new resolution, a further resolved clause, that be it resolved that the Austin Human Rights Commission encourages the Travis County District Attorney not to seek death sentences in capital murder cases and not to request execution dates for current death row prisoners who were convicted in Travis County. Last year, only 6 counties out of 254 in Texas sent someone to death row. 6 counties, total of 8 people were sentenced to death in Texas last year. Harris County sent 2, and Dallas sent 2. So they count for the difference between 6 and 8. 6 counties. And guess which one was included in that? In those 6 counties out of 254. The people of Travis County. Travis County sent someone to death row last year and the year before. One of the very few counties doing that in the last couple of years. Last year, 8 people went to death row across Texas. The year before, 9. Compare that to late 1990s when 47 and 43 went every year. The reason that is because people serving on juries, us, the local people, who we're called to serve on juries, we are saying no to the death penalty. But our elected officials are still saying yes. And so now we need to say to our elected officials, no more. And so I'm going to pass this out, this resolution, and you can consider it down the road. And just a reminder, Texas Moratorium Network is not taking a position to abolish the death penalty. We're taking a common sense position to investigate it and look at it. Don't put your heads in the sands to the Texas legislature, not to you. Acknowledge the problems and come up with some solutions. So thank you very much, and I'm going to pass out the revised resolution.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cobb. It's open now for questions, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Cobb, I do have a question.
We'll wait until you.
We'll wait till you get that. I know that after we passed the last resolution for the moratorium, we met with a few council members here, and at the last meeting, I forgot exactly which council person we spoke to, but you and I were both at that meeting. It seemed like there was a little bit more movement than we had experienced in the past. So I'm wondering if there was any further movement from your organization towards council since then, and whether clearly nothing has happened. So I'm wondering if you could fill us in on some of the work that you guys have been doing directly with council over the past year.
Yeah, we can report that. We talked to somebody on the city council, and we've been told that as soon as they have the votes on the city council, that they will present the resolution. There have been, without mentioning names, difficulty in getting appointments to talk to one of the city council members, and so we'd like your help in arranging that too. So if you could just communicate to the city council person who appointed you to the Human Rights Commission, emphasize the word human rights when you talk to them, and say, please speak to these people, please let them come to your office and sit down for 10, 15 minutes and listen to what they have to say. I think we can really move quickly on this if we can get those meetings, because it's really a difficult thing to just say, shut it away and say, we're not going to take a stand on it. So it's just a couple more commitments, and I think we'll have a majority.
Any other questions?
I have a very quick comment. Just as I haven't read this, but I do remember that one of the comments that we were given by council last time was to make it short and concise, and we brought it down to one page, if you remember.
All right,
So
I can tell you what happened with that, is there was a community group who formed after we met with you, after we cut it down, and there were new people involved, and if everyone wanted to add something else.
I understand that, but my thinking is if you're looking for us to pass something through this commission, we may want to do that again, and we may want to do it prior to our meeting next month, so that if we do pass something, we can pass something. But I can say that my council member would want a little bit more.
I appreciate that, but I do have a shorter version, and I can give you. I have on my computer, long version, short version.
Short version.
We were also clearly told that the financial impact is the most important lever we can use.
Again, it's mentioned on there, it was moved down, I can move it back up and make that, because that's really important that people know that it costs, it's a misperception that it's cheaper to execute someone. It's really much more expensive to execute a citizen under drugs.
And that it's a local issue, which is really important.
And it costs local taxpayers too. So we really want to emphasize those points, you know, the risk to innocent people, the cost to local taxpayers, and I think that's something that we can all agree on.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Mr.
sorry.
Cobb. Any other questions? Commissioner Brown.
When I've spoken to members of City Council, I've gotten discussion about the fact that there's no concrete impact of the City Council passing a resolution. I'm wondering if you can speak to that a little bit.
Well,
Just that it's more of a symbolic gesture and it doesn't.
well, I mean, I don't know what a symbolic gesture is. The way democracy works is that you tell your people, your elected officials, what you think the problems are in society, and they address it. We're telling that to the city council, and we're asking them to say to the Texas legislature, look, you're not addressing this problem. It's costing us money. We had to pay $14 million to settle a lawsuit in 2003 for two people who were threatened with the death penalty by Austin City Police Department. And so we decided as a city to pay this to try to address that injustice done to those two people. And so it's a locally impacted issue in that sense, and also in the big sense that, you know, one of us could be wrongfully convicted and sentenced to death. And so when we ask the city, Austin City Council to represent the threat to us as Austinites, to the legislature, that is something that is important that they take a stand on. And I think the reason Illinois is so far along in the moratorium and now they're considering a bill to abolish the death penalty is because city councils and local governments took a stand against for moratorium earlier and then for the abolition later on.
That's something you can add to the resolution too, to give our city council members a reason to pass it.
Right. It has happened in other states that city councils have played an important role in changing legislatures and motivating them to take it.
Well, Mr. Cobb, any other questions? No. We definitely would like to work with Delia on honing down this resolution.
All right, that would be great. We really appreciate that, and we'll definitely make it shorter and more concise.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.